Hi YouTube, welcome back to the channel. This is Chef Michelle's Life Plus 8, and I'm doing this video today in response to a video that I posted about 3 days ago, and that video was entitled Facing Possible Eviction, How This Happened, and What's to Come. So guys, I am just responding to the comments in this video because I got a ton of comments, and I wasn't expecting to get any comments, to be honest with you, because I recently just started back posting on this YouTube channel. I created this YouTube channel about 5 years ago, and, it was a lot of on and off, so I just recently started back posting. So I was very surprised. This particular video has now reached 1,729 views. Again, I posted this video January the 5th, and I've gotten now, I think, about 45 comments as of January the 9th. Today is January the 9th. So anyway, before we start with, me responding to the comments, guys, I want to first just read a couple of Bible verses because there's a lot of negative comments. And, when you're dealing with people that judge you, you have to fight back with the word of God. And so I want to start off by reading Matthew 7, verses 1 through 5. And it goes by saying, "Do not judge, or you will be judged. For in the same way you judge others, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured to you." Luke 6:37-42 goes by saying, "Do not judge, and you will not be judged." Romans 2:1-3 goes by saying, "You therefore have no excuses. You who pass judgment on someone else, for at whatever point you judge another, you are condemning yourself." And I find that Romans 2:1-3 is a very, very powerful prayer or Bible verse. I also wanted to just talk to you guys about trusting in God as well, because the particular video that I posted, guys, it's definitely, I definitely have to trust in God. If I trusted in man, I would not get far at all. But the prayer that goes by saying trust in God, it goes by saying, "God, help me trust you with my decisions and my future. Let me lean on you with all my heart, instead of relying on my own imperfections and understandings." Now, I may have kind of bunched up those words, but y'all heard what you heard. The second prayer is seek guidance in time of darkness. And this prayer says, "Heavenly Father, I thank you for everything you're giving me. When things are dark, I seek your guiding light." And that's definitely what I asked the Lord for. As I respond to these comments, guys, like I said, I need the Lord's guidance, and I have to trust in the Lord because these comments are just out of control. Now, again, when I posted this video, guys, the intent for posting this is because I wanted to just document my journey on what I'm going through with the landlord. Now, this situation started a whole year ago, and I never documented anything on YouTube. I just decided January the 5th to start documenting, and that's what I did. Wasn't expecting all the negative comments, but it is what it is. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. So another intent for posting this video, I felt like maybe if I post this video, there may be other people going through what I'm going through, and they can give me some, give me their story and let me know what they're going through. I'm trying to see if it's the same, So that's what I was thinking as well. But I got a lot of comments from people, and it's just unbelievable. And at the same time, I don't know why I'm so shocked at the comments. We live in a world where people are very judgmental, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. People don't know you, but they have a lot to say. Anyway, we're now going to get into this video, guys. All right. So again, the video I posted was titled as Facing Possible Eviction, How This Happened and What's to Come. So in the video, you guys see I was driving around in my car, and I basically just, shared with you guys what I was going through. And I believe that I started by telling you guys that I lived in this house for about 5 years. And I basically summed up the 5 years of living here into a 20-minute video. And I got judged off that 20-minute video. And I understand, like, a lot of people were like, oh, well, there's two sides to the story. Well, of course, there's two sides to a story. But on this side of the story, I'm choosing to share with you guys the truth about everything. As far as my landlord, I can't call him over and say, hey, buddy, come on my videos and give me your side of the story. I can't do that. This is my story. And yes, there is a second side. To be honest, I'm not looking for anyone to side with me. Again, the purpose of me sharing this video is for you guys to just hear me out, like just to talk it out. I'm not looking for anyone to side with me, because again, if I depended on man, or if I trusted in man, I would be so far gone. I'm not looking for you guys to side with me. The Lord is on my side, and that's the only thing that really matters. All right, guys, so we're going to get into these comments, and I wanted to start with what I believe is my very first comment, guys. And yeah, so this comment is from Lala Guerrera 6255. And this, like I say, I believe this is one of my very first commenters. And so I don't know if it's a lady or a man, but they start off by saying this: there's a difference between no fault repairs and your kids breaking. You're lucky he didn't evict you as soon as your kids started causing problems. Every time you lose a sock, or you flush, or kids flush something in like a miniature liquor bottle down the toilet paper, it costs them money. I would be angry too. Get your kid's father to help you out. Discipline them kids and get on top of things and take responsibility as a mom for what you and your kids do. And stop blaming other people, and definitely stop saying it's because they're white. Entitled baby factory. Also get a second job and stop living off the people while complaining about the stuff that your kids break. I would hate to be your landlord, and I feel really bad for your kids. Do you make the kid's father as accountable as you try to make your landlord in these videos? As far as you're thinking, you overpaid the landlord. Did you even reimburse him the cost of getting someone else to unclog your toilet, or remove one of your kids' sock from the drain pipe? Or the many other things you and your kids have probably broken in the house. Also, prepare your family size. How many kids without a husband do you have? So you had housing and a decent neighborhood, but you got evicted from that too? Broad. Stop making bad choices and costing taxpayer a lot of money. Take your baby's daddies to child support and make them responsible for your kids the way you make taxpayer responsible for your expenses. Why are we supporting these whores? They are never the problem. It's always the landlord's fault. And they raise violent kids and also live off the system. They cost the taxpayer way too much money. So I have an idea. Paper. Can we ship them off to another country that wants them? Is there a country that wants them? So that was like, I believe that person was my very first commenter. Now, before I say anything about this demonic spirit, because to me, this is a demonic spirit, because if someone could say something like this based off a 20-minute video, it's demonic. I'm not even, it's just beyond demonic. So what I want to say is, when I listen to myself in that video that I posted, guys, I realized a lot of things that I said could be interpreted the wrong way. A lot of times people say things and it's not really what you mean. It's just interpreted the wrong way. So when this person was like, you put a miniature liquor bottle down the toilet paper, or they said toilet paper, but it's a toilet. My daughter is now 6. I believe she was 2 at the time. I did say an alcohol bottle, but everybody in the comments thought that I meant a liquor bottle, like the little miniature liquor bottles. And I read that, like, I listened to myself and I'm like, you know what? I could get it. I get it. You guys thought I meant a liquor bottle, but that's not what I meant, guys. First off, I don't drink liquor at all. The last time I had a drink of liquor was like 8 years ago. And when I did drink, I never used the miniature bottles. So, you know, I just want to clear the air with that. That was my fault. What I meant was there was a small, like, bottle, plastic bottle that was down in the toilet. It was not an alcohol bottle. Everybody in the comments was like, oh, she's not talking about, one commenter was like, oh, I'm so surprised why no one is talking about the alcohol bottle that the 2-year-old flushed down the toilet. I do not drink, guys. Okay, I do not drink alcohol at all. I used to drink. That's a whole nother story. Anyway, I've cleared that up. It wasn't an alcohol bottle, like drinking alcohol. It wasn't that. This person also said, get the kid's father to help out. A lot of people in the comments have been talking about the father of my kids as well. I have not spoken about the father of my kids because I choose to speak about the father of my kids in my timing. I am not going to speak about them because that is a whole nother storybook. I am the mother of my children. I am the one that, the sole provider that takes care of my children. The father of my children were not healthy for myself and for my children. Therefore, I had to separate myself from the father of my children, and I'm just going to leave it at that. So, in the comment, this person was also talking about, oh, you know, you're blaming people, and definitely stop saying it's because it's white. Yes, in the video, because I listened to the video again, and I told you guys that my landlord was raging about the bottle being down in the toilet, and I mentioned that he was turning red, and I mentioned that he was Caucasian because I was saying to myself, maybe they're gonna wonder why am I saying he was turning red. All I meant was he's just a Caucasian guy. I didn't mean anything by it. I'm not a prejudiced person, right? And I don't want to go into details about it. I'm not a prejudiced person. I was just saying that he's a Caucasian. That's all I meant. If he was a black guy and he was turning red, then I would have been like, you know, by the way, he's a black guy. Anyway, you guys took that way too far. Entitled Baby Factory. I don't consider myself a baby factory. I consider myself a blessed individual that was able to produce a lot of children that I am truly grateful for. I love all 8 of them. So baby factory, whatever. So this person was like, get a second job and stop living off of people while complaining about the stuff your kids break. I don't think I ever mentioned that my kids broke anything. I think that this is something that the person just, you know, assumed. There's a lot of assumptions in this particular comment by Lala Galora 6255. Lots and lots of assuming. Because again, this is one of my very first videos posting about what I'm going through with my landlord. It's not like you guys have several videos. There's this one video, 20-minute video, and there's a lot of assumptions. So then this person is like, I'm complaining and I'm living off of people, and I wasn't complaining. I was just telling you guys my experience. This person was like, did you ever reimburse him the cost of the pipe? Now, one thing I didn't mention is I have always offered to pay. Anytime. That's just the type of person I am. I have always offered to pay, and my landlord says no. I guess he sticks to the papers where, you know, a landlord is supposed to deal with the maintenance and repairs, but I have always offered to pay for things, and that's my word that you guys are hearing. There's no proof in it. I have no proof for you guys, and I don't care to share proof either, because I know what I said, and the Lord knows that I always offer to pay. So, but he rejects it. He doesn't want me to pay for anything. Again, I believe it's because he wants to make sure that he's fulfilling his duties as a landlord. So, I'm not worried about the fact that you guys are like, oh, did you reimburse him? Because I did offer many times. I always put myself in the next person's shoes, by the way. And I understand, like, as a landlord, it could be very difficult. But again, I don't have to prove myself to the internet. So then this person is like, you know, also prepare your family size. How many kids without a husband? So that question is how many baby daddies or whatever. I don't have to share that information with anybody. That's none of you guys' business. That's between me and the Lord above. Again, the amount of kids I have, that's the only thing that I am concerned about. I love my kids, no matter if it's 8 baby daddies. I love my kids, and that's all that matters. You guys don't need to know that information, because guess what? At the same time, if it was 1, if it was 2, if it was 3, 4, or 5, you guys would still have something to say. So it doesn't matter. And so then this person was like, oh, so you had housing in a decent neighborhood, but you got evicted from that too. I'm going to speak on that because in the video I mentioned that after I left my first housing, I went to a second housing. Now, again, I wasn't detailed. I was just, you know, talking, trying to explain everything in a quick video. The particular house that I went to after I left my first housing was housing along with subsidized housing. It was mixed. Well, I didn't have housing. I know I said housing, but it wasn't housing. It was subsidized housing. They went by my income. And so the city still helped me pay for this. The reason why I got evicted from that place, guys, is because at that time, I didn't have no status in Canada. I didn't want to go into detail about it because, again, I was just trying to stick to why I was getting evicted. But since you guys are going on a rant about, you know, oh, you got evicted, because a lot of people mention this, you know, you got evicted. You've been evicted twice. The reason why I was evicted is because I did not have status in Canada. I was still waiting on permanent resident status. That was the year 2016. I had been in Canada since 2011, and I was still waiting on status. So I didn't have the rights to work here. I didn't have the rights to go to school. I literally just was here with no status in Canada. So all of a sudden, I got a letter in the mail from, what is it? It was from the child tax people, Canada Revenue is what I was trying to say. And they told me, oh, we've approved you for child tax. Because mind you, I was not collecting child tax money. The only thing that I was getting is assistance to pay rent. And the father of my kids was living with me at the time, and he was on disability. So his disability was basically paying majority of the rent. But I didn't get child tax. I was only getting a small portion of assistance. And so, you know, I had applied for child tax, and I was told that I wasn't approved, but then all of a sudden I get a letter saying that you are approved. And so I was so grateful. So when I got that letter saying that I was approved for child tax, guys, the Canadian Revenue Agency sent me a large check, a retroactive check for all that time that I had been waiting. And when I got that check, I was supposed to report that check to assistance, which I didn't know this. So because I didn't report it, they found out about it. Well, I didn't know. You know, I honestly didn't know. But when they found out about it, they were like, you know what? You were supposed to tell us that you were getting this retroactive check, because if we knew this, we were not supposed to pay your rent. They paid my rent for 2 months because the amount that I got, it was a large amount. It was enough to where I could have paid my rent. but I didn't know that. Now, if I would have known it, I definitely would have paid my rent. Anyway, long story short, because of that retroactive check, the social assistance was like, well, you know what? We're not going to pay your rent for the next 2 months, and it's going to be your responsibility. Well, I got behind, right? Because they stopped paying the rent because I got that large amount of money, which I tried to explain to them. Well, I didn't know that I was supposed to report this money to you guys. I honestly didn't know. So anyway, I got behind on the rent. And that's why I told y'all in the video that it was not my fault. On top of that, Canada Revenue ended up sending me another letter saying that there was a mistake in the system. We actually wasn't supposed to send you that large check. There was a mistake. You're going to have to pay us back. So it was just a big issue. The government of Canada ends up sending me a check and then turns around and say, there was a mistake in the system. You were not supposed to be issued that check. You're going to have to send that money back. Well, the money was spent. So it was a whole issue, guys. And that's why I end up getting evicted from that particular unit. And you guys are like, oh, you know, you've made a lot of bad choices in life. No, things happen in life. It's not about me making bad choices. And that's the story on that. And again, it's not even fully in detail, but I wanted to give the reason behind that. Remember, there's always a reason for everything. So now y'all heard it. So, you know, this person is talking about, you know, you're using taxpayers' money. And this person is calling me a whore and calling me a broad. And like I say, that's just demonic. To call a person names after you watch one video from them is just truly demonic. And then this person is like, you're raising violent children. You don't even know my kids. You don't know anything about them. Again, this is demonic to say that I'm raising children and you don't know any of them. That's sad. And remember the Bible verse that I read to you guys in the beginning about judging people. Remember that. Whether you're a believer in God or not, pick up the Bible and read what the Lord says about judging people. And you're talking about my kids. That's sad. So, you know, this person is like supporting violent kids and they also will live off the system. You don't know what's going to happen with my children's life. You truly don't know what's going to happen. And so then this person ends with saying, can we ship them off to another country that wants them? Is there another country that wants them? That's just childish. I'm not even going to respond to that because that just didn't make sense. Then people are like, if I were you, start looking for another home. He does not have to renew your lease. The court system can only keep him from evicting you without cause. If you lose most, you will get 30 days. To leave some states is 10 days. Remember, I live in Canada. I don't live in the U.S. I live in Canada. And there's a big difference. Some people are like, it's similar. There's a difference. Trust me, my lawyer has already explained a lot to me. This person is like, as far as the overpayment, have your ducks in a row? How much you personally paid for the receipt statements for 3 other organizations to prove he has overpaid you? If I were you, I'll start packing non-essentials. Be prepared to put it in storage. You may have to take him to small claims court, take pictures and videos of everything, fix patches, holes. 6 years there will be a lot of wear and tear on certain things. Check your lawyer. Example, broken windows or doors, screens may not be considered wear and tear. Good luck. Now, this person, it was like on and off. They were like positive and negative at the same time. But little do you guys know, again, the video was 20 minutes. I didn't tell you guys details. When I told you guys about all of this started because I asked for the landlord to repay me back money that I was overpaying him. And this person in the comments is like, you may need to take him to court. Well, I've already done that. I've already taken him to court with this matter, and that's a whole nother situation. You're saying that, oh, you need to gather all your statements. I've already done that. I gathered bank statements. I've contacted the organizations already. It's so sad when people don't know. And I did all of that on my own without a lawyer. I contacted organizations. I went down in person. I've spoke with people, with not people, but I spoke to the rent supplement program about what was going on. I got proper documents, guys. Like, it's so sad when you guys judge. And then you're telling me, oh, you should start packing. Well, I'm not going to pack anything because that's not what the Lord told me to do. I'm not going to pack anything because with this situation, if you really listen to the story again, it all started with him being upset because I asked him to repay me back money that I was overpaying him. And so the reason why I found a lawyer is because the lawyer said, we're going to take him to court because this is not a fair eviction. And we're going to present your case as, she labeled it as like something else, but basically she wanted to take him to court. We want to take him to court because we feel like it's an unfair eviction. It's something personal. If I'm asking for my rent money back and then like a week and a half later, you're like, oh, you need to leave now. You know, that's not a fair eviction. So it's a lot to the story. And then this person, Raviana9969 is saying, you Sky Wizard have nothing to do with that. I don't even know what a Sky Wizard is. What are you even saying? Your Sky Wizard has nothing to do with it. I will never grasp why poor people breathe the way y'all do. Obviously not all there. First of all, if I'm not poor. I am rich here on earth and I am rich in heaven. I am never poor. So for you to say that I'm a poor person, you could keep that. I'm never poor. And then you're like breeding as though I'm a dog or something. I'm a human being. Breeding. I am a woman. I am an individual that had 8 kids. Like I said before, I am grateful for the 8 children. I would never regret them. And I'm grateful to God that I had a womb to carry 8. Thank you very much for your comment, though. All right, guys. So basically, I'm going to just elaborate on a few more comments. I'm not going to take much more time on this video because, like I said, there's a lot of comments and there's a lot of negative comments. And I can't keep, like, I can't, elaborate on all these negative comments. But there's one individual that was like, Sydney full of love, the one that has full of love at the end of her, or I don't know. I think this is a male. Sydney full of love. I don't know. I didn't really look. I'm just looking at the profile picture. But this person was like, the landlord doesn't owe you any money. Those programs finance your life. Be grateful. First off, no one said that I was ungrateful. I'm a very grateful person. If anybody that knows me knows that I am one of the most grateful persons that's, on assistance, and even if I wasn't on assistance, I'm a grateful person for life, for health, for my children, for everything, government assistance. It doesn't put me in a special category. I don't have to bow down and live a certain way just because I'm on assistance. So when a person's like, be grateful, in my video, Mr. or Mrs. Sydney full of love, you tell me, when was I ungrateful? You cannot judge me off a 20-minute video. You do not know how I feel. Double Shot 9 said, surprised nobody is asking why the 2-year-old was able to get the alcohol. Shocking. And that's something I already elaborated on, but this is amazing. Again, I don't drink. The last time I had alcohol was the year 2016. So I don't drink alcohol. There's no alcohol in my my home. So that was my fault, like I said, when I said an alcohol bottle. And I know Americans may look at things different. I am in Canada, but an alcohol bottle, what I meant was it's like a little plastic bottle. That's what I should have said in the beginning. There was a little small plastic bottle. It was not a alcohol bottle. So calm down, Double Shot 19. You got 12 people to like your comment. Wizard Defies, let me just let you know You said that was the first thing that went through my mind. Why was the alcohol within reach of the 2-year-old? Calm down. There was nothing in reach for her. So you might as well just delete that comment, double shot 19. Anyway, and then Truth Seeker Beyond News said, you should just move out of the man's house. Good grief. Why do you think I should just move out when you don't know the full details of what's going on? You only know what I told you. You only know what was shared to you in a 20-minute video. I'm not leaving until God tells me to go. Thank you very much. And then, what is it? George Moore, 7166 was like, if I were you, start looking for another place. I think I've already read that person's comment. And then Donald Peeps, I'm going to read 2 positive statements because I told y'all there's a lot of negativity. So Donald Peeps is one of the positive ones. He was like, when you do not own your own home, it can get really hard. Please keep your hands in God's hand. Good luck to your family. I am praying for you and your family. Positivity. I really appreciate that. Delea Pulley was like, I pray that everything works out for you. Just trust God. He'll turn it all around. And you know what, Miss Pulley, if I'm saying your name correctly, the Lord already showed me even before I decided to post this video that everything is already turned around. Even before I got all this negativity. And getting all this negativity, I know that there's something positive that's going to come out of this. Whether this is my home or whether it's not, there's something positive that's going to come out of that. And the biggest other thing that I want to elaborate on is a lot of people are like, it's not your money, it's government money. Why are you asking for the landlord to, why are you saying that the landlord need to pay you back your money? Let me tell you something. I receive money in 3 ways. I told y'all before, you have to listen to the video. I get Ontario Works. I also get help through a program called the Rent Supplement. And I also receive child tax money. The government of Canada gives each family child tax money when you have children. If you work and you make a lot of money, I believe that they don't give it to you. I could be wrong. I don't know the full details, but they give it to families with children up to the age of 18 years of age. And so when I was overpaying the rent, I was using the child tax money to cover, to cover it. So I was using child tax money, and that child tax money, I'm supposed to use it for all necessities, buying the kids clothes, food, and all them type of things. Because remember, I'm in Canada, we don't get EBT. So, it is the money that the government give to me. And a lot of people are just like, like this person, Ella Cobb 6877 is like, oh boy, I could be getting lost, ? But if none of the supplement money goes to her, why should she care if the guy is being overpaid? She also knew that the landlord has a bad attitude. Why cause problem? If anything is wrong, who calls problem? One video for 20 minutes. You don't know anything. When did I cause problems? She's like, if anything is wrong, let the agency take care of it. Well, they didn't know that I was overpaying him. And again, I was using child tax money to pay the rent. So that money was mine. The government of Canada gives it to me, and that was mine. So, she's like, people wise up. What? You wise up. So then people are just like, oh, he wants you gone. Sorry you're going through this. From an honest view, it sounds one-sided. Well, of course, there's 2 sides to the story. I am on one side choosing to share this journey. So, again, and I'm going to say this one last time, I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm not looking for you to side with me. I only posted this video because I wanted to see if there was other people going through the same thing that I was going through. So all these negative comments, guess what? I've been going through this for over a year. And I know what the Lord told me from before. So with these negative comments, it is what it is. And people keep asking about the dad. I've already told you guys about that. And then Sexy Sauce is like, no accountability, nothing about your children's father. Even if you knew about my children's father, Miss Sexy Sauce, you'll still have something negative to say. Even if the children of my father was sitting right here next to me, you'll have something to say. So whether the kid's father is here or not, it doesn't matter. So, you know, she's like, always someone else fault, uprooting those kids multiple times, bad decisions after another, and feeling entitled. You could say what you want to say, Miss Sexy Sauce, and I'm going to let you know something. Be very careful when you judge, when you make assumptions, because you could be in this situation one day, and it could be way worse. That's why you should never judge. Go back to the beginning of my video when I was telling you guys not to judge. Be very careful because the tables could turn. In my lifetime, I've listened to people's story, but I never judge. I don't like commenting on people's posts when they're going through situations like this. Because me, I believe that you just never know if it could be you one day. You know, no accountability, bad choices, as though you've never made bad choices in life. Or if you never made mistakes. Because I don't say it's bad choice. It's life. Life in general. No one is perfect. Then this person's like, I'm also very curious as to the state of the house. I pray your youth keep the house in great conditions. And guess what? This person is executive something. I don't know. You most likely will never know the state of my house. Because guess what? If it's in the greatest condition or if it's in bad condition, you will have something to say. And for that purpose, you're curious to know the state of the house. Don't worry about it. And then you say you will pray for me. It's so funny to have a positive with a negative. You're curious to know what the state of the house is. Why? So you could judge? Yeah. That's the only reason why you want to know what the house looked like so you could judge again. So, yeah. And then there's one person is like, they feel nothing but anger for me. That's demonic. You feel nothing but anger for me? Very demonic. I'm not even going to read everything that Claudia Smith 9422 said because it starts off with demonic energy. I feel nothing but anger for you. I'm not even going to read your comment. And then there's one other girl, TANW.5149. She was very positive, and I'm going to stop with her comment, guys, because these comments, like I say, are just crazy. She basically was like, I'm laughing out of pain and sarcasm. God created us both and is allowing us to go through eviction. She's like, for me, my employment, because she's going through eviction as well. She's like, for me, my employment ended February 24th. Reason was from job. We couldn't accept or grant job accommodations. She's like, they are for employees only, not their children. She's like, I see people saying they're going to pray for you. Girl, I see it too. She's like, and my heart breaks almost in jealous rage. Like, oh, so they're praying. So their prayer is going to be heard by God. And that makes so much sense. TANW.5149. How are you being negative and then you're going to say you're going to pray for somebody? You think God's going to hear that prayer? The only prayer that the Lord's going to hear is these positive comments. All these negativity is not going to prevail. It's not going to work, guys. And so she's like, I see people saying they're going to pray for you, and my heart breaks almost in jealous rage. Like, oh, so their prayer is going to be heard by God. Life is unfair, especially for believers. Some kind of way I wind up in this hopeless situation. Laugh out loud. God is near for me, going through it with me. Oh, yes, and moving is unknown. So grateful for the insert sarcasm smile. I can't wait for him to show me all the things that he's going to benefit from having me go through all these suffering tricks in the mind into believing that he is the only one that could change and fix me into a better. Oh, yes, and the blood of Jesus is going to also heal my emotional pain and hurt. Beautiful heaven come now. Who gives a about end when they cannot make it through the entire day? And like I told you guys, positivity. Positivity, guys. And so I responded to her, and then she responded back, you're strong to have the final statement God has for you. Yes, I am very strong. And I'm going to leave it at that because, like I said, it's a lot of negative comments. Regardless, guys, this is my page. I will continue to share my different journeys that I go through. And, you know, all the negative comments, it is what it is. And, yeah, y'all have a lovely day, guys. Talk to you later. Bye, guys.